Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome you with balloons and smiles. How are you all doing today? Plush, Elena, Paul, good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everyone getting along today? How's the family doing this weekend? Paul, how's baby doing? What new milestone is that little one after? Let us all, let all of us parents who no longer have infant children, let us know what you're going through so we can live vicariously through you of those beautiful, wonderful moments that we don't get to see and experience anymore, and we just look back on fondly in pictures and videos. Um, Let us know, bud. Always. I don't know if I follow you on other platforms, Paul, but uh, drop photos, drop videos of your adorable little daughter discovering her toes or whatever else. Baby's got her first cold this past week. Yeah, that's terrible. Um, oh, and plus your family's sick too, or you're sick, but having some coffee and getting moving. Baby's got her first cold this past week. Day 3 of coughing, runny nose, no fever, but it feels scary right now. Although I'm sure, yeah, I remember those days. Even up until like the third kid, when the infants, when the infant babies would get sick, it would be like we've never gotten sick before, like we've never had a kid get sick before, and it would just be like, oh no, got to take them to the emergency or urgent care and see what's going on. And it's it's just a cold most of the time. I'll take that back. Most of the time, it's just a cold. They're like Plush said, they're so helpless. They can't tell you what's wrong. They don't know what's going on. It's the saddest little thing. Um, and it's very terrifying as a parent, especially a new parent. Yep. But you get through it, and that's part of how you get stronger and stronger as a parent. And then one day you have 3 kids and they start syphiling, and you say, "Suck it up, Buttercup." I'm just kidding. We don't say that. Um, but yeah, sorry you guys are sick. Everyone's getting sick. I just talked to one of my tradesmen the other day, and I hadn't heard from him for a while, and he was just like, "Dude, I was down with the worst thing that's ever happened to me," and went to the doctor, and they're like, "Yeah, this is what's happening to everybody." And I've been hearing it a lot. Um, Thankfully, haven't had it yet. Um, hasn't rocked our family. Really hoping we survive this winter and spring without getting destroyed. Yeah, weather changes are no fun, of course. Um, Anyways, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Uh, if you are on another platform other than Twitch and you're wondering what I'm talking about, come on over to Twitch. We got some friends over there. That's the chat that I can easiest, what? That's the chat I can most easily, there we go, see and read and converse with. I believe in the other platforms, it's much harder for you to comment. I think in like for sure if you're watching on X, I've tried this before, when you comment, it like takes you out of the video. So it's super awkward. So I highly recommend um, coming over to Twitch and joining the chat, and we can kind of go back and forth. We can get to know each other a little bit and talk. Um, I got a co-host in the background. Who? Let's see who it is. Let's see who's surprising us today. It is. Come on, that was your cue, buddy. Um, he's probably busy back there doing something. You never know when they're gonna pop up. But I did hear the little ding in my headphone. Someone is joining me today, so I don't have to sit up here and struggle. Um, but yeah, all right, where are we at? So, good morning. Follow us on Twitch. Come join the conversation. The other 14 or so of you. This thing with my lip, I don't know if you guys were on yesterday or heard, but for some reason, this side of my lip just started swelling up. So it's noticeably, to me and my family, swollen. Worse today. No pain though. It's just swollen and numb. I haven't bit it, which is awesome because I know that sometimes when you get a swollen, you tend to bite it and swell it more.
Tom, are you
What?
okay?
What's
You
happening?
okay? What's
You
going on?
guys. That was I guess no one knows what happens in the background, right? But like I'm sitting here talking and doing the intro and I get a ding that says there's someone behind, and I look and
Oh
it's
yeah.
Jason. And so I was waiting for Jason to appear, but then another ding comes and you appear. So that was a good surprise. What's up, buddy?
Oh, nice. Good to see you. I always in the morning right now as I'm just transitioning with a few things. I'm like, look, I see the clock. I'm like, do I have any other excuse than being able to go see my buddies? So that was right now.
You can, you can just jump in the chat and just say hello and good morning and hang out. It doesn't have to be all or
you
nothing, Ryan.
you think that's how I operate, Tom? You think that's how I work?
No. And good morning to GIF creators. Who are you? What's your story? How'd you find us? What's going on? First time in the chat. How's it going?
Are you someone who creates GIFs, and what kind of GIFs do you are you usually creating?
Are you a
I don't really know how,
parent?
if someone said go create a GIF, if someone told you, I'll give you $1 million if you have 5 minutes, go create a GIF, what would you do?
I'd open up Chat GPT, bro, because I have no idea.
You've
I
been
would,
really using ChatGPT a lot lately, I feel
I would
like
say,
utilizing it.
yeah. Well, what's funny is, so I had made the goal at the beginning of the year to use it every day, and I did horribly. I did okay, but it was the first thing that I just stopped doing. And honestly, there was no reason for it other than like
Yeah.
I did it for a week or so straight, and then I just kind of ran out of stuff that I wanted to talk to it about, or like I just couldn't think about like
I hear
what to
you.
talk to it about.
Yeah.
But then I've been talking to this friend of mine, like one of the groups, this guy Blake, and he uses it for everything, like everything. So like when he and I are talking, we had this like long conversation where like he came over with the kids. It was just us, the wives were gone, and
It's
I was talking
okay.
to him about my business, and he was like, "Okay, so what do you want to do?" And then like he's literally just typing it into Chat GPT, and he comes over and he says, "Oh, well, have you thought about this or this or this?" And I'm just like, and then like same thing, like when my car broke down and we were talking about certain things, he would just send me these Chat GPT chats. I'm like, okay, like dude uses it for everything. So
I am
he's sparked some prompting in me.
I'm more like your friend Blake. As of right now, there is no need to not use it in almost every situation. However, this is the problem. This is the chat. This is what you have to be careful of. Is that at some point you stop using your muscle, that is your brain, and
Mm.
you will go. It's like the same thing. Like I actually stopped my daughter and I in a conversation yesterday. We were talking about the Chinese New Year, and we were trying to remember who each one of us was, like our birth year or whatever. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'm forgetting. I was like, Sloan, I remember that whatever the animal is that I am for the Chinese New Year, which like we just do it for that one cute little thing. But I was like, I didn't like it. I didn't find it
Oh.
exciting. And so, but I was like, okay, I could either pull out my phone right now or we can try and remember about like each year. And I was like, well, why don't we try and remember the 12 animals that it is? And then I was like, why don't we try and remember, like, is this a possible one? And so Chat GPT can kind of be like such a cheat that all of a
Like a
sudden you're
crutch,
like,
yeah.
I don't know how to use my brain anymore. So you really do have to be careful. The last thing I'll say is I've been trying to streamline some things, just like I've been thinking about you, and I've been waiting to come to you with this question about business, because I recently have streamlined a lot of what I've been doing, and like I more or less like uploaded myself into Chat GPT and like what my clinical knowledge and all that kind of stuff is. And so now what I can do, I have a, well, actually, I think you know what I was trying to do. Although my system didn't let you finish what I had asked you to do. So we'll have to get that done. Anyway, neither here nor there. Do you use Chat GPT for parenting?
No, not yet. Well, I have in an instance or two. And good morning, Jason. Sorry.
Good morning, guys.
And I do want to get back to Mr. or Mrs. Gift creators. But yeah, I have in an instance or two, like just asked it a question that like, I think it was about Bailey's future. And it was like, hey, my kid doesn't quite know what she wants to do for her future. She's kind of thinking this or this. Can you lay out some ideas and plans? You know, local community colleges versus universities and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. It is. I think it's there for clarity, at least. Jason, you have the heaviest typing fingers out of
This
anyone
morning,
I know.
yes.
I'm purposely trying to do it quietly. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
I have a little little analogy on Chat GPT. I have like a divot in my eye from sleeping.
Oh,
What's up with your guys' faces? Both you and Dom have face things right now.
Well, where's yours?
Just look.
Why didn't you get the
I
memo?
don't know.
So I had, what is that? Does it look like I have like a dent in my head?
Well, I would have assumed it's like something underneath your eye that's coming out of your skin, but you're saying that there's a dent?
Do I have a sty?
I don't know, man.
I don't know. Weird. AI stuff and thinking.
Wait, does it hurt?
I can't unsee that thing on my face, so I'm gonna ignore it by not looking at my screen. So yeah, good point, Ryan, on almost getting lazy thinking. So I had a presentation that I had to give on AI to teachers. I'm the AI contact person for my school in the district. So every school has an AI thing, and we did an exercise where we use a software platform called School AI that the district is trying to push, which is great. It's kind of like an umbrella for a whole bunch of different AI tools and technology.
Mm-hmm.
And the experiment was to improve student oracy through conversation through using a kind of a chatbot function, to kind of put it really basically. And it worked. A lot of teachers used it that day, and I used it that day with a few like setbacks. But my personal opinion that it was really the long way around to getting to what we want the students to do is to be able to talk about what they're learning in class together and have really good conversations. So my opinion of it is like there's great applications for it, but the danger is getting lazy in the methods in which you formulate your thoughts. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I found myself kind of relying on it in certain situations, whether it's like personal things, school things. So yeah, I think that's a great point to consider when using that one tool in your tool belt of AI technology, for sure.
Yeah, that's interesting. Was it here we were talking about this, that in some interviews recently there was somebody, if this was someone telling us this, they said that they were interviewing some like younger kids for a job. I don't know if it was a tech thing or what they were saying, but they had mentioned, and maybe they were overemphasizing what this was and making it sound more dramatic. But they said that a lot of the younger kids that were coming in, they were interviewing for this job, as they would ask a question to this kid, or these kids really, they saw them almost like processing, like it was taking time. You can see their faces, they were doing it. And he just noticed it more and more. Like, okay, it's not that they're slow or they don't know the answer, because they get there eventually. But they said that it seemed as if they just needed some time to really like think through it. And then finally there was one kid who, and this is the person's story, they said that the kid was really honest, and he was like, I'm usually using like ChatGPT to work through a lot of this stuff. And as of right now, it's hard for me to run with my stream of consciousness without that. And I think the story went like, the kid's not dumb. Like, the kid knew what to do, but he was like, just how he generated this thought, he needed a little more time. So that was interesting. Jason,
All right.
how has this office been for you?
Sorry, I zoned out for a bit. Alexa went off, and I was trying to type something. It's still talking to me. Alexa
Ryan,
off.
you got a lot more plants on that wall too.
I got a story.
Yeah, that's a great. Is that a fake background?
Ryan's in a forest now, y'all.
So this has always been my dream. One, to have my home office, which is tough in where we live. But the other is that I actually had a lot of these plants already. They just happened to be up here. And I was so aggravated that I was like, I didn't check before I hung them all. And I was like, I'm so upset. I did buy more. Now that's the thing. But these little, I'm using my mouse. You guys can't see this, but like these little, these containers here, they're awesome. They hang on the wall. But more importantly, that you just plant your plants like towards the front of it, and then in the back it's a void, and in that void is where you water them. So they basically self-water from the bottom up, and so like you don't have to do much. But I also have to get grow lights to make sure that they don't die. So there's grow lights all over for when we need to make sure it's happening.
Is any of it like food, or are they just plants?
No, they're just
anything like that.
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, it could be good, but I want them just to hang down. I've always wanted like a plant wall, just like oxygen, healthier environment, all those kind of things. So
just put your face in it, just get a little touch grass. Even though even though you're in a concrete jungle, you just.
That's how it goes. I do think. What did you guys think about the reading today?
Topical, applicable.
I mean, it definitely fit in the theme, and especially kind of like yesterday's of just being present. Like gets a little bit of like, obviously it was talking more along the higher level people like celebrities or kings and queens, but like you can rationalize it down to like, one of the things about human nature is everybody thinks they're the most important person in the world, or tends to. And, especially when you're in a work environment, I know my clients and when I get into work mode, it's like everything is just so important. And one of the things that I mostly do, and I think what people like about me, is I try to bring a little bit more calm to the situation and say, look, I understand that this is very important to you, but it's not that important. Like, it's not life. Like, it's just a house. Like, it's going to get built. It's going to get built when it gets built, and you're going to spend what you're going to spend. I'm going to do my best to do it quickly and as easy and as painless as possible. But like, we don't need to be all stressed out and panicking about every decision, every dollar, every timeline. And I have a family. Like, that's my priority. So I'm going to go and I'm going to spend my time after hours, and I'm going to, make my focus that, especially while they're in this age of being young and like they still need me and want me and all that jazz. So I think it's just a good reminder for people that especially like really need it or aren't at that place yet. Cause that's where I was maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago with my first kid. I was definitely, every time someone called me or texted me at work, like no matter what hour it was, I was responsive. I was jumping on it and stuff like that. And it wasn't until like maybe 10 years ago, 5 years ago, that I set like a really hard boundary with people, because I started to notice that like if I just responded to one message on like a Friday evening, like the person wouldn't stop all weekend long. But if I just didn't respond to that message until Monday, I
Yeah.
could have a free weekend.
I hear that.
Mhm.
Sony mom's at
Yeah.
the gym.
One thought that I had was one little note that I wrote down, put in my feed on today's is if you were to ask your kids what they think you value or how you spend your time, what would they say? And that was like a good little jumping point to thinking about my childhood and my thoughts around my parents. So my dad was a teacher and he was home most of the time. And I didn't really ever think about what his day to day was like until I was an adult and I was teaching. Because the first few years of me teaching, he was still teaching. So I think about like, I wonder what he's doing now. What does he do on his breaks? And my mom, she worked a lot, and she did provide, and that caused her to be away from the home a lot more than she thought she wanted, a lot more than she wanted to be. And like, yeah, that's what I think about most about that time period of childhood. But I also recognize that like that's how I got to do like the big things when we got that chance to do it. As far as like now and how I interact with my kids, I feel like we do a good job of really fighting to make the kids a priority. And I feel like the kids would say the same thing. Like, I can't remember the last time I said I can't do something because of work, or I can't attend this event because I have to do something somewhere else. That's something that I feel like we're doing a pretty good at this particular time.
I love that confidence.
There's nothing that I regret about my work-life balance right now. I think I have my walls up on where work ends and family begins.
How does that make you feel? Does that make you feel like you are confident, like for the future? Yeah, like is that like your overall like vibe on the inside? Are you like, I'm good?
No, I feel good about it, but it's tiring. It's like in a good way. It's like I'm definitely spending more energy on family and the girls than I am at work. And sometimes it's frustrating, sometimes it's tiring, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Are there people that look at that as like a, well, because this is a crazy culture, right? And so I think a lot of people be like, well, if you have that much time for your kids and, you know, everything else, and you're not missing a thing. I'm kind of playing devil's advocate. That's not really what I want to call it, but just kind of thinking.
No, continue. I think I know where you're going. I think it's a great question.
Yeah. And because I was going to attach this to it, which I wanted to get to, but I thought about like, what is a bridge here? And the other one was like, well, could someone look at your situation and could they end up saying, okay, well, great. Like you could have more time, but then again, you know what? You're a teacher anyway. Like you're always thinking about these things. You're around kids. This is like what you're reminded of. I'm not. Like I'm in the corporate world. Like is that something you think someone could end up needing to work through?
I can imagine that. It's never happened. There's nothing I would change about it.
Yeah. It's an awesome feeling, man. Congratulations to being there.
Thank you. It took a while.
How about you, Ryan? How'd the reading hit with you?
It was good. I'm not walking away with as much confidence as maybe like Jason would have here because, and you know, I was talking with Jason on the phone the other day, and I think like right now I have like one goal. I have one goal. My one goal right now out of everything, as I try and you know just shift a little bit of things here or there, I can at best really kind of see 4 days ahead, at best, and so I set a goal to make sure that I can see 3 weeks ahead. And that I felt like was going to be able to hit on a lot of things, because one thing in particular, especially with like the family, like Lauren, I think has just innately, because she loves to do it, she plans, she sets up, she coordinates all those things for the girls. And so like there's not really anything she's picking up. She is just kind of doing it. And at some point I do feel as if I'm kind of now just riding along, where it's easy for me to like sit in this seat and I can just keep working. Daddy's busy. I have the next project. I have the next thing I can work on, right? And so I don't want my kids, just like the reading was today, like to look at this and be like, well, there was that corner of the bedroom that dad put a bunch of plants in, and like and you know, that's all we remember of our childhood, like going in there and seeing. So, you know, the idea of me needing to make sure that I have that downtime and put up those stronger boundaries, I think that's just really important. So it's a good reminder a lot. So yeah. What's up, Craig?
I wouldn't say that I'm. Thank you for considering confidence. It's not that I feel confident. It's something that that takes constant work, and I feel fortunate that I'm able to shift that. Like, yeah, have I sacrificed things in the past to do this? Yes, I have. Like, if I were to stay with my first career, I don't think I would be in the same boat. The choice to go into education, yes, plays really well into family time, but it doesn't necessarily make things easier. I'm just really thankful that it puts me in a place where family is constantly around me. Does that make sense?
Do you feel like you're missing out on what could have been the other part of the life? The other side of it?
Yeah, there's parts. Like I there's certain elements like I do miss, like the good part. The good part that actually ended up becoming few and far in between is like the creative aspect of being in a design position. But that only comes and goes very, very briefly.
Yeah, I hear you. Congrats, Craig. It's awesome that you I did not, call me out of the loop. I did not know you were working on the game. Makes sense though, I guess, with meta rights. But congratulations. The grass is always gonna be greener, I think, right? In some, more or less. Dom, do you always do you feel you have a good handle?
You water it.
So many things we can say. What was I? Oh, because Dom, you've been making a little bit of a transition lately, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's called for the last 4 years or so, but yeah, it's definitely one of the things where, you know, one of my Chat GPT prompts was asking me, you know, to look at my life and figure out what's the priority and stuff like that, and you know, the number one is always going to be the family. So I'm trying to model and adapt my business so that I can keep that at the forefront and keep as much time as possible for them. So, you know, one of the things I'm working on right now is just having someone help me out, like a virtual assistant, and then trying to integrate automation and AI to some of the tasks that my business handles so that I don't have to do it all. You know, I have set up home office, but I don't like working at home. Like, I would much rather just sit with my kids and just be in their space, because I just know that the time is coming where like they're going to all be behind closed doors and or be somewhere else, and I'm going to miss that, and I'll have plenty of time to work. Like, I'll be able to have a second job, you know, like it's just this is the time, this is the season. Like, I'm not going to, you know, miss it for, you know, a little bit more money or another job, or just to um, make some clients anxiety a little better, you know, or feed into whatever it is that they need, like more attention as a person.
I love that. I love that you keep saying that, by the way. I also know that it's over 30 minutes, but I love that you keep saying about like not letting someone's energy affect you, and that you're actually on the opposite end. You actually are looking to go in and affect someone else's energy. I think that's really important. It's like you the environment is only one part of it. The actual other personalities and people involved are another. And then I think that's when things get super messy. And I could probably be a lot better at that. And maybe I just need to have those discussions with you a little bit more. So
yeah, Don, that what you just said hits pretty hard with me. And I'm trying to remember what you just said. Yeah, as we get older, that's the part about as we age and the kids start becoming more independent is like, what does our career look like? Like I see teachers that they're a bit old, maybe they're a bit older than me, with kids that are out of the house. And some put more time on leisure time. Some put more time into investing in more education about teaching.
I'm gonna check if my dad came back with the wagon. No, we're gonna pick our books up.
Is that you, Ryan?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I have kids setting up a book sale here somehow. I don't know who's coming.
And that is something that me and Kristen have started to kind of talk about very briefly, is like, what does it look like in 10 years? We just kind of like knocked it around, but what are we doing in 10 years when the kids are more independent? Like, what will we be doing? Will we be in the same place? Do we need the place that we're currently in? Probably not. It's like we have friends whose parents have moved closer to them. It's like, well, are we going to move where the girls go? Are the girls going to stay here? Just all those little questions that we notice from people that are a few steps ahead of us. Those are starting to seep in.
That's a good point. Hey guys, I have to run. I have to go help out these girlies. I love you both.
Yeah. You guys have a great weekend. Enjoy your time. Enjoy your family.
See ya.
Make it a great day, everybody.
Everybody in the chat, love you. Thanks for hanging with us, rocking with us. We will most likely see you tomorrow, but if not, we'll for sure be back on Monday. Sunday
has seemed to have turned into our sleep-in day.
Sleep in Sundays, man. Let's just make it a thing, and let's just like hit it back on Monday. I mean, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like I'm going to be awake, but we'll see. We'll see how I feel. But yeah, mugs and hearts, everybody. Mugs and hearts. See you, bud.